Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. In this series for abstract reasoning for Maharashtra CT, today I'm going to cover embedded figures and incomplete pattern. Okay, one of the sections which is special to Maharashtra CT because in other examinations we do not have a section by that name, and even if there is, there are hardly few questions. Like CMAT might ask you a question or two in on visual reasoning, same for SNAP, etc. But in CET, you have a dedicated section. Earlier, it used to have 25 questions. However, last year, the number of questions was less. In some slots, it was 5, maybe 15, 20 at max, but still, that's a significant number. Okay, so we have been discussing different kinds of questions that have been asked in the past, like mirror image, water image, right? And we did paper folding, cutting, etc. So today we will be looking at these things, embedded figures and incomplete pattern, right? Now, what happens in an embedded figure is, say if you are given a small portion, right? So you have to find like in which figure it is hidden. Okay, so if I draw, let's say this is BYJU'S logo, right? So if I have this thing given and it will ask you that where it is hidden, so you will have to find identify. Okay, this is in this, right? So they might give you some shape and ask that which is hidden in which figure is this shape hidden. Okay, so that is embedded figure. And incomplete pattern is like 4 parts, 3 parts are given to you. You have to find the fourth part, or maybe 6 parts. You are given 5 parts. You have to find the daily basis, right? So let's start with the questions. Okay, and this is what incomplete pattern is, right? So 3 parts are given. You have to find the fourth part, and these questions are quite easy, except in very few cases they might have complicated questions, but normally these are easy questions. And the thing is, like the one advantage of these questions is they're generally easy, but disadvantage is when you solve too many questions, you get tired by solving these questions because you have to focus a lot, right? You have to check each and every option and then solve them, right? So which of the following figures will complete the pattern? So if we see at center, we have this kind of structure, right? So there should be a line like this. Okay, now this is black, this is white, this is black, this is filled, this is empty, this is filled. So this should be empty. Okay, so we should have this kind of structure. So that is an option B. Okay, so they just gave one option like this. Had they given more options, then you would have checked for other things also. So we will have a reflection like this and a shape like this. So that is an option B. Okay. Which of these figures will fill in this gap? Now these are the questions. Usually, most of the people will get them right. Okay. One possible way to get them wrong is by doing silly mistake that you found the right answer but mark the wrong answer in the response sheet. Okay, that is one way to get them wrong. Otherwise, it's just about the time you take to observe figures. Okay, the questions are not difficult. It is about that the time you take to solve these. Which of these figures will complete the pattern? B. Some of you are responding B. What about the others? So going with B. Okay, so some of you have said A also. Now let us look at this. Okay, so it's a symmetrical figure. Okay, let us see the symmetry. Here it is black, here it is white. Okay, so if it is black, this one should be white. Okay, and they have given all options, only one option is white this side. So you do not have to check other things also. Like that's a very, I mean, they've given very bad options, right? You can directly reject the options. And others, if you want, suppose they had given some good options with white here. So you have white triangle, black triangle. So white triangle, this should be a black triangle like this. Okay, this. Now in every shape you have a big triangle like this. Like you have a big triangle like this passing to the center, right? So this triangle should be like this. Okay. Then this black, white, this shading, right? If you see, is on the half of this triangle. So this half and this part. So this part is white, this is black, this is white. So this should be black. So we will get option A as the answer. Okay, so in the beginning itself, they are given this thing. I mean, if you just check for this part, you could have easily found the answer. But if they had given some better options also, then you could have seen for these things as well. Right? So notice one thing: if you get in one of the options, good. If you get multiple options, then try for the other element. So all these questions in abstract reasoning, the only way to do is to by doing by options, right? You do not have to draw the figures, right? Because if you start drawing, then looking at the options, it would take more time. Just see the options, reject the options, okay? And how can you do this? I mean, you must be thinking that I have a pen, I can write like this, right? So when you're solving on the screen, right, you can touch your screen. Okay, no one says that you cannot touch your screen, right? That's how I do questions. Like whenever there are such kind of questions where we have to reject options, I cover that portion. Let us say I have to cover A and C, so I'll put my fingers on that, right? So that I see only options B and D. Then I see, okay, this is the thing, and I'll mark the answer. Right? So that's how you can save your pen paper. Okay, you do not have to write, you can use your hands and you can hide option A because you know that option is not correct. You can hide option B if it is not correct and then check for that. Okay, so that's the way you should be doing. Okay, so again this one, if we see this, this is black white black white, so this should be a white one, and this should be a line like this. Okay, so again they have given very stupid options. Okay, this is black, this is white, this is the only correct option. They have given it downwards, so no need to check for other elements. Okay, if you were able to find this part, okay, so done. If you if there were two options with this, then you would check for the remaining part, that where will this square come and this triangle and rectangle come. Which of these will complete the pattern? Again, in every option you will have something or the other thing wrong. Okay, so it is easy to do. We can easily eliminate option C because it should be pointing this side, right? So this should be like this. So C is going in opposite direction. Now D we can eliminate because it is not completely black, right? It is a mixture of black and white. Now black and white, it is black, white, white, black, white, black. So it should be white and then black, right? So that is option B as your answer. Okay. And this part, then we can check for this is black, this is, since this is black, this is white. So these are symmetrical ones, right? So opposite, they are symmetrical. So hence option B. Which of these will come in the blank space? So checking the symmetry, right? If you look at this symmetry, what is happening is there is a triangle from these end points to center, right? So the triangle should be from end point to center like this. Okay, this triangle is there. Then there is one line like this from this end to this corner to this corner, this corner to this corner. So you'll have a line like this. Okay, and then there is this division symbol. So it will come inside this, right? So which is present in option B. Okay, so these have wrong triangles. You could have directly eliminated C and D because they have opposite triangles. A has upright triangle, but this line is opposite. So this line should be like this. Okay, so in these questions, you just have to like see the symmetry and find the missing part. And usually you can easily eliminate. The options will be of different types. Okay, and these are generally easy. Most people are able to do them. It's just about how much time you take to observe things and do this. So CET is a speed based test, right? So it tests your speed, how fast are you at doing things. Now this is what is called an embedded figure. Okay, what happens in these kind of questions is an image will be given to you and there are some images given. So you have to tell inside which image can you see this kind of figure. That will be hidden in one of the figures. You have to identify in which figure is this part hidden. Okay, so all of you are answering it A. So let us check option A. So this is like if you see this shape, this is hidden like this. The shape is here, right? So that is the answer. Acha, in this thing, one thing you remember that embedded figure, you should not apply rotation. Okay, it should be as it is. जैसा है ऐसे ही. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि it is like this. Okay, if you rotate it and then you fill it, right? So it should not be that case, right? It should be in this position only. Okay, so others you do not see this kind of shape, like you do not have this kind of diagonal in this. Okay, this diagonal is there, but this central line is not present. Okay, in this case also diagonal is not there. That is an option. Find the figure in which this is embedded. Now, sometimes the shape may be small or large, right? Maybe it might be a smaller shape in as compared to these figures. That does not matter, but rotation should not be there. Okay, where do you see this shape inside which of these? For this part, abstract reasoning, you need to be good with observations with geometrical figures. Okay, so if you see this, let us check option by option. Let us start from option D. So we should have something like this on top, right? We do not have any line coming from this side, so we can eliminate this. We see this part on the top, right? This part is also there, this part is also there, but there should be one straight line on the bottom, right, which is missing here. Okay, we do not have this kind of shape on the top. It is straight line. If it was like this, we could have still thought of, like if it was like this, we could have said okay, this, but it is a straight line. It should be like this, right? So we can eliminate this. So this should be the answer. Now let us check this part, then this part, then this part, then this, then down, and then the left. Okay, so this is embedded like this. In which figure is this embedded? This shape, in which of these do you find this? Okay, so let us see this. Now, as I said that you should not rotate the figure, right? So in this we do not have any straight line like this, vertical or horizontal lines. Okay, so you can eliminate this. Similarly, we can eliminate C also. So two options get eliminated. Now in this case, if we see like this, we do not have any this kind of shape like three lines like this. Okay, if they are far apart. Okay, if you see this, this is far apart. Okay, even if that is there, you do not have any two lines like this, right? So we do not see it anywhere. Okay, so you can eliminate these options. You can answer this by elimination. We eliminated three of the options. इसमें होना ही चाहिए, right? So let us check that how is it possible. If you observe this line is there. Okay, then we see this line, and then this line, and then this line. Okay, ये part हो गया. Then this going down, then this, then up, and then left. Right, so we can see that this shape is inside this figure. Right, so these are quite interesting problems to do. Right, it is just that how fast you are at observing things. So it's a special ability, right? Some people are very good at identifying those patterns and all, right? So those are the ones who have an advantage. If all people generally get these questions correct, right? It's just that some people find these questions boring because they take time to spot that. Some people can spot them very fast. So this is the swastik symbol. In which of these do you find this symbol? Okay, so some have answered B and D also. So A, I think no one will answer because you see like this, but this part we do not have, right? We do not have something going like this or this. Okay, so this is A is not the answer. If you see B, B is, I said you do not have to rotate or reflect, right? ये इसका reflection हो गया, right? If you take reflection of this, you will get like this. Okay, that is in B. Okay, that is a reflection. You should do not have to reflect things. Okay, so B is not the answer. C, can we spot it? If you see this, this is the straight line, then this, okay, then this is the straight line, then this, and we have this. So C is completely having this thing, right? So option C should be the answer, right? So why is D not correct? Okay, so let us see that whether D is correct or not. Okay, so D will be if you see the D, right? So some might say that okay, yes, that is what is a correct one, isn't it? But if you look closely, uh, here this has to be joined, right? But if we see this, this is like this is not joined at a single point, right? So these are two different points, but they have to meet at one particular point. So that is why D is incorrect. So you have to check each and every small details in the in this, right? So that is why D is not the answer. So be careful in these things. Now this had better options as compared to other questions, right? So sometimes options are very vague. Sometimes they might have better options, like in this case, and with careful observation, you can say that it is in C. Okay, so then you have another variety of embedded figure in which they give you a figure and then they ask which of these images is embedded in it, right? Just a reverse type. In the previous type, it was they had given you some shapes and asked that in which image do you see the shape. Now they have given you an image and asked that which of these shapes can you see inside this image. Okay, so it has two good options, right? Okay, so two we can eliminate. A we can eliminate because we do not have that after oval we do not have any triangle like this, right? So A we can eliminate. C we do not have any line like this, right? In this figure we do not have any line like this. So C we can eliminate, right? We are left with two options, B or D. Achha, so let us see this D option. Some of you are answering D, some of you have answered B. So this oval is fine. ठीक है, ये oval है. Then this line is also there. Line is also there. Line going down also. That is fine. Then up and then straight line. Is it a straight line? ये straight line नहीं है ना. It's a curve, right? You can see that it's a curve. It is not a straight line. See this. This is looking like very straight line. This, but the line is actually like this. So slight curve. Okay, not too much curve but slight curve. Now let us see this. So it has, they have not taken the lines, that is fine, right? They have taken the oval shape. So oval shape is present. Okay, then this line is present, this line is going up, this line is going down, and then this curve shape. Okay, see, it has a curve shape, not straight line. And then a line going like this and a line coming like this, right? So that is embedded, right? Not necessarily they take all the elements, right? So they have not taken the lines that are intersecting here, but this is correct. So hence B is correct, D is not correct. Okay, so D is not correct. Okay, got it? So some of you were saying D has a straight line, but there is no straight line in this image. Okay, you have to find which of these images is embedded in this. Then in this case, we might have to rotate things. In this case, you will have to rotate an answer. Because straight, you do not see any arrows, nor you see M shape like this. Okay, so rotate the figure and answer. I mean, rotate these figures and answer this. Okay, so ideally you should look for straight as it is. If it is not the scenario, then you look for the rotation in this. Okay, so let us see this. Right, if A is present, right? So A is what? It says an arrow with this shape from behind. Okay, now do we see an arrow here, right? If you have to see, you will see an arrow like this. Arrow दिख रहा है ऐसे? And then it has a back side like this. तो ये shape दिख रहा है arrow वाला? We can see spot this thing, right? So we can spot this thing. So that should be the answer. Let us see other options. Right? Do we see an arrow with a straight line on the back side? So an arrow, we do not have any back line straight. So that is not there. This straight line is not present, so we cannot have this kind also. Now let us check between A and D. Right? Do we find any M somewhere? Okay. So let us see if M shape is present. So we know B and C are not correct. M shape, if you see this part, this is giving you an M shape. ऐसे M shape दिख रहा है, and on the side you have this kind of structure, triangles. Okay, like you can say the bad kind of shape. Now, is this the correct structure that is given in the option? Now, if you look at the option says M with this kind of you can say that equilateral triangle, right? M with an equilateral triangle. But what we see inside the image is M with triangle like this, right? This is towards down, and this is further going down like this. This is what is given in the option. This is in the figure, and it is not matching, right? It is not matching with what is given in the figure. But if you look at A, that matches completely. Okay, so if you look at A again, so A is like this. So this is an arrow. Okay, although of a larger size. Then from the arrow we have this thing going, this line going, and then this line coming inside like this, right? So kind of a tail. So arrow, tail. Okay, so in this case we had to rotate and find it. Okay, B is not possible. See, B has a straight line with the arrow. Where do you see the straight line behind the arrow? Acha, that is also possible. Correct, correct. Yes, you are right, because this is also possible. Yes, yes. This is also possible. Okay, so it becomes slightly ambiguous then. So this also looks possible. See, definitely D is not correct, but these two are both possible, right? So issue in the question, right? Uh, A clearly. Where do we have A clearly? We have to rotate for A, right? Where do you see arrow going up? Yes, B is also possible. Okay, so that becomes a controversial question then, right? So both are possible. A is also possible. B is also possible. Okay, so yeah, so if you said A or B, both are correct. So ideally that should not happen in the examinations, but yes, sometimes it does happen that there are questions that have multiple correct answers, or there are questions that have no correct answer. Middle point to downwards. How is a middle point to downwards? Okay, you mean to say that this goes down like this. Achha, here also we have option A. Now again we can say A also in this case. Achha, then to here we will have A, B, C all three, na? A is also possible. B as an inverted form, right? Then C is also possible in this case though. Like if you look at this, so C is also possible in this. If you look at this figure, right? So I think, I mean, or maybe the question might have been that which of the following is not not there, right? So that could have been the question, that which of the following cannot be seen, because A can also be seen, right? B we saw on this side, right? If you look at it like this or like this also, and C is also, but C I would say not, because see ये जो arrow है इसके ऊपर बन रहा है triangle, but here they have shown like this, they have shown this below line, so C is not possible for sure. Okay, again, in that case, B would be correct. So quite confusing one, right? So you should skip those kind of questions. These are the questions that you must not attempt, where you get too much confusion in the paper, and it is difficult to justify which one might be correct. Okay, so C is not possible, right? D is not there. Among A and B, A also, if you go by this logic, then A is not possible. But if we see the rotated part, then A is possible. So ideally, the answer should be, but again, B is also in a rotation form, right? So, like something which is confusing. Okay, so let's just keep it. Let's see that which is embedded in this figure, which shape is embedded in this. So at times there might be scenarios where these are like confusing ones, right? So maybe let's say you get uh, 20, I don't know if they are going to revise it to 25 again. So out of 25, right? So out of 25, we generally there will be 5 6 questions at max which could be confusing, right? Others are generally easy. This one is an easy one. Which of these figures is available in this? Okay, so we can easily see this. This we do not see like any line going like this or this, right? Triangle with like lines. Okay, it's again rotation. But if you see this, this is clearly visible. This shape is clearly visible, so that is your answer. Okay, so that is the answer in this case. Okay, although not exact, because this is smaller, this is longer, but it is equal in this case, right? But not exact, but still that would be the closest one. Because others are not even, I mean, they are not in the picture. So we'll take this up. Okay, so these were some questions on the concept of embedded figures and figure completion. Right, so that is one of the question types that you can encounter in the examination, and we got to see some questions. So you understood that how to apply these questions, right? So completion of figure is very easy, right? Embedded also mostly easy. Sometimes you might have complicated images, right? Wherein but generally they do not require rotation, but at times there might be cases which could have confusing options, right? So the best way is like uh, since see this exam has a lot of questions, right? There are 200 questions, and no one gets all questions right. So you should not be spending too much time on a particular question thinking यार कौन सा होगा कौन सा नहीं होगा. If you find something confusing, just skip it, right? And then just move ahead in the paper and remain the I mean attempt the remaining paper, because there are a lot of questions, other questions to do in the paper. Okay, so you should not worry here like why to focus on just 2 3 questions which you find way too challenging or confusing, right? So the best strategy is they could be sort of traps, right? That is generally the case. These are traps in the paper, and you just have to avoid those. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.